Hey guys, this episode of RuneScape history is going to be a little bit shorter than normal simply because this is kind of old, so the information available to me on it, even with using things like the Wayback Machine, was very limited, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and let's get into it. From November 7th of 2005 all the way up to January 2nd of 2008, Dagannoth kings were plagued with malicious individuals. Most of these individuals were actually harmless in nature and simply just wanted your world to kill Dagannoth kings in. This is due to Dagannoth kings, much like today, if you don't have a Slayer task and can get in the Slayer instance, it's very crowded. This meant that people doing their Slayer tasks, as well as people just killing DKs, would have to fight constantly in the same area on every world. Most people just went to the popular wreck safe spot and simply X-logged with the spinulips on them, or went up the ladder and logged out that way down the path. However, there was another group that wasn't there to kill DKs at all, and simply just wanted a bunch of Guth and spears. They were very easy to spot for anyone who was a veteran at killing DKs. In some of the DK's guides from back in the day, which I'll put up on the screen, you can even see people warning you of this, and they would warn their teammates the moment they saw these. They would call them lures, they would call them Dagannoth lures, because technically that's what they were doing. They would get Prime on them and Supreme on them right when they come down the ladder, and then they would run straight for the guy that's killing Rex. And if you didn't know, if you're killing Rex, you're doing it in a safe spot, and you're out of Prime's range normally, so you're not going to have that Mage Prayer up. And if you didn't know, when Prime's on somebody and they run right next to you, you take splash damage from Prime. Prime hits up to 60 damage, and if they also got Supreme on them, that could turn on you too and hit you for 20 to 30 damage. So if that's stacked at the same time, and chances are you're not at full HP anyways because you're trying to heal off spinulips or you're trying to kill Rex and then heal, you have a really good chance of dying and losing your Guth and Spear and helmet, which they would then loot. Small groups of like-minded individuals would do this on virtually every world they could at Dagannoth Kings and rake in tons of Guthan's helmets and spears. The spears alone were worth anywhere from 6 to 7 mil at the time, and the helmet was also worth a few million as well. For experienced teams, this was less dangerous because they would immediately see the lure pop down the ladder, and they would warn everybody within their clan chat or public chat or voice chat. They would instantly say, hey, put on Mage Prayer because a lurer is here. And at that point, all you had to deal with was Supreme, which was annoying and might cause your team to have to teleport out, but at least no one would die and have their stuff looted due to the old death mechanics. This trend was seen all the way from November 7th of 2005 when DKs were released all the way to December 9th of 2007. The only reason it slightly changed was on December 10th, and it was because of gravestones. But the DK lures still continued as they found out, hey, if nobody blesses this grave, it only lasts for a maximum of 5 minutes if they have the best grave. And if you didn't know, back then you can't use the pet rock to get back to DKs. You actually had to have a buddy willing and ready to stand on the button for you to get through. And most people didn't have a buddy right there waiting, so it's going to take them well over 5 minutes to get back the long winding path all the way to DKs. So the people still did it even after gravestones were released, because the moment they collapsed, you could get someone's stuff back then. This, of course, was changed later on January 2nd of 2008 with the unbalanced trade removal. But all the way up until January 2nd of 2008, this would happen constantly. The only reason you don't see it today on old school RuneScape is because the death mechanics now. If the death mechanics were reverted to the way they used to be before the DDoS attacks, then you would see this rear its ugly head yet again, I'm sure. But that's about it for me. As I said earlier, this one was going to be a little bit shorter than some of my other historical videos, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.